Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum. Dear first year students, your today's lesson is about the structures of the plant and animal cell and their comparison. Before this, we have learned in this chapter, which is the chapter number 1, cell structure and function, the different techniques which are used in the cell biology. And now we are going to learn about the different type of cell components, their organelles, their structures and functions. And before moving towards these topics, we will have a small introduction with the structures of the plants and animal cell and their comparison. You know that the cells are the basic units of the organisms. Cell can only be observed under the microscope as they have very small sizes and cannot be seen with the naked eye. So the two basic types of cells are the animal cell and the plant cell. And these figures are showing you the typical structure of an animal, generalized animal cell, and the typical structure of a generalized plant cell. They have many similarities, so they can be you can say they can be looked same under the microscope, but even then they have many differences between the two types of structures. And these are some facts about the cells. The cells as a basic unit of life. Cell is the smallest unit of living organism. Unicellular organisms are made up of one cell only. The cells of the multicellular organisms are specialized to perform the different functions. For example, the mesophyll cells for the photosynthesis, the root hair cells for the water absorption in the plant cells. So here again we are watching the typical structure of an animal cell, and we will see that what are the details of the animal cell structure. The animal cell, no cell wall and the chloroplast. As you know that the outermost boundary of the animal cell is the cell membrane, not the cell wall. Cell wall, which is the more rigid structure as compared to the cell membrane, is the characteristics of only the plant cell. And chloroplast is also not present in the animal cell because they contain the different type of photosynthetic pigments which are used for capturing the energy of the sunlight during the process of photosynthesis. And the animals are the consumers. They do not perform, their cells do not perform the process of photosynthesis. That's why they don't need this organelle which are known as the chloroplasts. They store the glycogen granules and the water droplets in the cytoplasm. So this is the cytoplasm of the you can say the animal cell, and here in the cytoplasm they contain the glycogen granule, which is the stored form of energy in the animal cell, and they also contains water droplets in the cytoplasm. Next, we will see about the organelles, which are very small in size and can only be observed under the electron microscope. The cell is very small, and again the organelles which are present in the cell are also very small, so which are only visible under the electron microscope, has specific functions in the cytoplasm. First of all, we will see about the endoplasmic reticulum. These type of structures which you can see in the cell of the animal as well as the plant cell, they are known as the endoplasmic reticulum. They are connected to the nuclear membrane. This is the nucleus and this is the nuclear membrane. So this endoplasmic reticulum is actually connected to the nuclear membrane. This is the highway of the cell. Rough endoplasmic, there are two types of the endoplasmic reticulums. This is the rough endoplasmic reticulum, which is granular and not smooth, and the second type of the endoplasmic reticulum are known as the smooth type of endoplasmic reticulums, which is non-granular due to the absence of the ribosomes. And these endoplasmic reticulums involves in the formation of proteins as well as in the formation of lipids. These are the ribosomes, which are the site of the protein synthesis. This found to attach to the rough endoplasmic reticulum or floating free in the cytosol or the cytoplasm. They produce in the part of the nucleus called the nucleolus. So this is the introduction for the ribosomes. This is a specialized organelle which is present in every kind of you can say the cell, either the prokaryotic cell or the eukaryotic cell. So next is the Golgi bodies or the Golgi apparatus. This look like the stakes of the plates. This stores, modifies and packages the proteins which is formed by the ribosomes. Next, centriole, which is also present both in plant and the animal cell. These centrioles aids in the cell division. They usually found only that do not found in the plant cell but only in the animal cell. that made up of microtubules. And what is the function of the cytoskeleton? They stabilize the lipid membrane system of fibers or the networks of the protein filament. They strengthen, support and stiffen the cell. So this is, you can say, the internal skeleton of this is forming the internal skeleton of the cell, which is necessary for the shaping the cell. Now this is the cell wall, and this is the outermost boundary of the animal cell, sorry, the plant cells only, and these are absent in the animal cell. That is made up of cellulose. Cellulose is a polysaccharide, which is a kind of carbohydrate which forms very thin fibers, strong and rigid in the plant cells only. So next are the lysosomes. These are the suicides of the cell, and we will read about its detail in further topics. And there are two types of the lysosomes. These are the or the digestion. This is known as the pinocytosis and the phagocytosis. Next, about what are the functions of the cell wall. It protects and supports and in the enclosed substances or the protoplasm resist entry of the excess of water in the cell, give shape to the cell. This is the character of the plant cell only. Next we will read about the cell wall, that it has large empty spaces between the cellulose fibers, which makes it freely permeable. Okay, so this is the introduction with the cell wall of the the plant cell. After the cell wall, the next boundary in the plant cell and the outermost boundary in the animal cell is the cell membrane, which is lies immediately against the cell wall, and it is made of protein and the lipid and selectively permeable. Selectively permeable means that is not totally permeable, but it allows only some of the materials to pass through in it and forbid other kinds of materials. So it's a living layer. Cell membrane is a living layer, can control the movement of the materials into and out of the cell. This is the specialized function of the cell membrane. So next is the cytoplasm. This is the living content which is present between the cell membrane and the nuclear membrane. This is the nucleus of the animal cell. So this is the nuclear membrane. The outermost boundary of the nucleus is the nuclear membrane, and this is the cell membrane. So the material which is present between these two types of membrane is known as the cytoplasm, and contains the organelles and the granules. For example, the chloroplast, the mitochondria, all type of organelles are suspended in this cytoplasm. And next we will see what are the functions, what are the basic composition of the cytoplasm. Jelly-like substance enclosed by the cell membrane. It provides a medium for the chemical reactions to take place. So all kind of metabolic reactions which are taking places in the cell, they are happening in the organelles, and these organelles are suspended in the chloroplast. So that provides site for the biochemical reactions actually. Now the next organelle, which is known as the chloroplast, and it is only present in the plants, that contain the green pigment known as the the chlorophyll, to you can say trap the energy of the sunlight to make the food by process of photosynthesis. Next, this chloroplast contains starch grains, which are the products of the photosynthesis. So this is another type of organelle which is present, which is the part of the animal as well as the plant cell, and it is rod shaped. It is used for the respiration or the cellular respiration. You know what is the cellular respiration? That is the oxidation of the food which we eat or the plant use for the energy supply. And this oxidation is actually takes place in this mitochondria, which is the site for the cellular respiration. This is high in number in the active cells like the liver cells or the sperm cells, and their number is very low in the cells which are not very active like the earlobe and other kind of cells. Now vacuole is an other important component of the cell, that is you can say surrounded by the tonoplast or the continuous cell sap. Contains the cell sap. Here in this vacuole the cell sap is present, or a solution of chemicals, sugar, proteins, minerals, salts, waste and the pigments. This is known as the cell sap. and the important organelle which is very prominent under the microscope in every kind of cell, that is the nucleus, and it controls the normal activities of the cell. This is the nucleus which contains the genome of the cell as well. It is bounded by the nuclear membrane. That means the outermost boundary of this nucleus is known as the nuclear membrane. Now students, next you can watch what is the specification of the nucleus. Each cell has fixed number of chromosomes, and these chromosomes are present on the in the nucleus of the cell. So here you can watch the different types of plant cells. This is the onion epidermal cells. These are the guard cells of the stomata. These are the root hair cells, and this is used for the absorption of the water. This is the onion epidermis, the outermost boundary, and these are the guard cells. Now you can watch the different kinds of animal cells, and these are the muscle cells. This is the amoeba, this is the paramecium, and this is the white blood cell, red blood cells, and the cheek cells. These are the different type of animal cells. So we will see that what are the similarities between the plant and animal cell. That both have a cell membrane surrounding the cytoplasm, both have the nucleus, and both contains the mitochondria.